This video is a part of Thai culinary education. สวัสดีครับ I'm Chef Pan. I'm a chef instructor, cookbook author, and I used to own a restaurant, Thai Essence in Petaluma, California. Today, I will try to introduce to you a way to combat the COVID-19 with Thai medicinal food. And here I go. Combating COVID-19. There's several topics that I'm going to talk about. The first one, we will talk about why the 14-day quarantine is a must, and where the COVID-19 attack the body. How do you protect yourself? Thai COVID-19 success. That's why right now Thailand is ranked number 1 in the world that know how to manage the COVID-19 without the vaccines. And we will talk about the mineral, vitamin, and ingredients that can help fighting COVID. And you're going to go to several Thai medicinal dish that why it's useful for fighting COVID-19. Why 14-day quarantine is crucial? Because the day 1 to day 3, when you start get fever, you cough, sort of, it might look like a cold, like everybody experience. But when you go to 4 days to 9 days, you start affecting your lung. You have difficulty breathing. You got respiratory inflammation. That means you start losing a lot of taste, flavor, texture, those kind of things start affecting. So then this COVID went into your bloodstream, then start going to your brain, your lung, your kidney, whatever you name it. It goes with it. So by 18 to 15 days, that most likely they will be able to tell if getting it. If 16 to 24, you have the complication begin. That way, the hospital service need to implement. So I will talk about a little bit of the mask. This mask will not save you. Let's see, the mask, like the way you wear them, underneath your chin, take anything to cover your face. You think if you protect it, it helps? Not. You wear under your nose. You even want to, make the lead with a mask. Then you have the people that completely to under your chin. That's what this mask not going to help you. But this one is the collaboration on the mask will, because everybody has to wear it. You see Dr. Fauci, you see the baby, you see wherever you go, you wear the mask. The kid, teen, either your worker, your husband and wife. If you are in the public, you're gonna wear the mask. In Thailand, if they come up, walk around with, the mask, give it to the foreigner who don't have one or refuse to have one, but everybody wear them when you ask them. So even custom and tradition have to be a judgment on this COVID-19, because we have everybody like school, we keep distance, 6 feet distance, everybody wear mask, pay attention to each other, respect each other bodily. Even the monk have to wear the mask and guard. Even though you're the dancers, you still have to wear the guard to do all the things. Wherever you go in Thailand, you walk on the street, they wear masks. You go to the village, you will see they wear masks. That's the custom and tradition. Just usually Thai people don't wear masks, or if they have to, they will do it willingly. So the COVID-19 has changed custom greeting. Like like the French kids, those kind of thing. They are no longer doing that. And then the note greet like Arab, the umbeso, the kids from a different culture, and they are no longer doing that too. So they pay like the Thai, the Sawati, they press, put your hand on it, and even in the hug, they have to away, don't put the face in there. Either you took the feet or the elbow. That's more common in a restaurant. We use the elbow. That is common for us. So you see a lot of people in United States or Asia not that much, but Europe and United States, like I'm entitled to my rights. They forgot that this is a pandemic and everybody can get it. If you're entitled to your life, you are imperiling to the other. Let that sink in. What I think you feel like in the United States, at the beginning, it's a lot of Karen. The name is Karen because she refused to wear the mask. She go to the store, they ask them to wear the mask, and they refuse. They scream at them. They have a fish at them. They bad talk to them, and then that's what the name coming from, Karen. So you see a lot of those superpower people that not respect the other people. See, like the guy in the middle one, there he's probably almost 6'5", 6'6". You have to take two bullets to take him out of the public library. It is where the children went in and do the, reading or whatever it is. Then he refused to wear mask, so they took him out. And the big guy, the same and big guy on the plane. So they have to have 6, 7 people take him out before the plane can take off. And again, people deny or refuse to wear the mask, go gathering in the mask. That's the big problem right now that we cannot control it. So like, the lady right over here, the lady on the right hand side. So she went to the field, the sport field, and then they were asking her to wear the mask, and she have a fit, so they have to carry her out. So just think about, if you don't want to die, don't make other people die for you. You see the doctor and the nurse, they have to work long hours just because of your right, imperial to your right. I don't think that's right, in my opinion. Either you do it, you don't. If you don't, you probably more likely end up in the graveyard. Just let that sink in. So taking the temperature, it's good to take this temperature because everywhere you go now in Asia, in Thailand, you go to bus, you go to car, you go to, facility, any facility, they will take your temperature. They make sure that you don't have fever. So, and then if you go to Thailand, that is, they check you from in the plane, out of the plane, then at the beginning, they screen you with the temperature, and everybody have to be quarantined 14 days mandate, and you can pay for that. If you're a foreigner, you pay for the hotel, for transportation, everything you pay. Just because you want to go to Thailand, you lost 14 days. And if the Thai people go in there, we have the free access of those 14 days. That quarantine, we don't have to pay. So that taking temperature, this is initiate, the first initiate they want to get you into the country. So, testing for COVID is not that bad, but how often you can take? Everyday taking? I don't think so. You're not an athlete, so you don't pay sport. So you don't have to take it every day. You sit at home, so Do you think you need a COVID to test? Unless you went out and buy things and you feel not comfortable, you see people that violate non-respect and you feel like itching or you got a little bit cough or something, then you go taking the test. The test is free, but you have to find out where the test center is. And then it takes 5 minutes. Now they do with your nose, they do with your mouth, they do with your blood, or you do with your spit. Anything you can do. Take a test if you have, you don't have. And mostly, if you're young, you can fight it yourself. If you're old, that's what the problem coming in. So be aware of taking. It's not a bad idea, but taking every day, I think it's that crap. Because you're not going to get it every day. Today you don't get tomorrow. Get it. The test take 3 hours or 4 hours. You get to some place you got a week to let it know the result. So what the point of taking it? I don't think it's wasted time, money and resource. I think. So medical treatment, in Thailand we have a good facility because a lot of people train. We have a lot of nurses, a lot of helping nurse, a lot of doctors. They all come from the top of the top school, and most of the doctors in Thailand they have the opportunity to do their residential outside Thailand. They come to US, US, Canada, wherever they can get a hand to do the residential, and then you have to go back and pay back to the government. So that's how good the Thai doctor is. They graduate in Thailand, but they went to do residency outside of the Thailand, outside Thailand. So medical treatment is the big thing when you really can handle it. Then you have to go to the hospital, and then you know how many people that can take care of you. 4 or 5 people each time you go in there. That's a lot of money, and then it doesn't guarantee that you will come out either. So it depends on your body. If you have diabetes, you have all the other thing else, you have problems, and then you might end up in the coffin. So that cost a lot of money, cost a lot of things. So prevention is the key. So the coronavirus, let's talk about this because the coronavirus lasts on the surface, like aluminum that you usually you buy food, you have the wrap in aluminum. That is, you somebody have COVID sneeze on it, that 2 to 8 hours is still alive. If your food still warm, it probably shorter time. If your food cold, it stay for longer time. Then the paper, you know, napkin paper that usually you take out there what they give to you. If somebody had it and stick it on that surface, it lasts about 3 hours. And you have to deliver, probably take about 10, 20 minutes, sometimes go to 45 minutes. That get, 45 minutes, you got 2 hours and something. 2 hours, 15 minutes more that the COVID still alive. So the copper, when you go to the bar now, you no longer can go in the bar, but you go to the dining that have the copper. If they forget to clean or they didn't clean, that about 4 hours, the COVID still alive. I bought 24-hour cloth, something you wear in your head, start last 2 days. So wood is about 4 days. The plastic, we're talking about the wrapping plastic, or that not that bad, but the thing like the machine that you have to touch your screen, answer the information, you have to touch those screen. That's the most dangerous, I think, worse than you carry the bank, the bank note. Sometimes people they wash them every time they put in their separate bag because they don't. But for a lot of people, they don't care. But I think the plastic one is the worst because you touch it, your temperature increase, you got more things. everybody touch. You don't know who touching it. So the same with the money. So just be careful with it. 3 to 7 days depends. And these are not the people forget to mention. I think the metal. This is especially the doorknob to go to the bathroom or to go in, go out of the restaurant. The minute you touch it, that if somebody, wipe their nose before they walk in, grab the doorknob and entrance, there you have it. So, and you think the restaurant people, somebody go in, then they come out, they just go in, clean, spray the knob. In Thailand, yes, because they have the door people that take care of the bathroom. They hire them, they'd be there. They have those 24 hours for people to come in constantly clean. So your eyeglasses say 5 days, those kind of things you go in. Mostly people clean glass. People like me, I sweat all the time, so I have to clean my glasses every probably an hour, 2 hours, depends. And the Monday, the 4 days. That's a lot of problem with the money and the touch machine for money or any touch screen, watch out for that. And the face mask about 7 days, you wash them or throw it away. If wear the, portable, disposable, to throw it away. Wear one is not comfortable, you just throw it. It's cheaper than getting sick. So, and then your face mask 7 days, you should, if you go to the public, really a lot more people, I take it out and wash them the next day. Get a new one. I bought it by case. So even though mine is not portable, but it's to wear them comfortably, it's a cloth mask. That's what I do. So I wash them. So if I go to temporarily real fast, so it's okay for me, but it's not. If I go to have to be indoor for more than 1 hour, so that's what I have to take it out and just spray it and then put it for the watch. So let's see the coronavirus lot in the air. That we just talked about the surface. Now we talk about the air. In the air, the virus is droplet. It lasts about 3 hours. Like somebody sneeze, hatch. That droplets, fly all over the place. It will last in the air about 3 hours. You go from here, from there, wherever they go. And then they can travel 13 feet, whatever it is, the distance. Your 6 feet distance, if you don't have the protection, you could have problems. So talking about release 1,000 of fluid droplets per second, that means they've been in the air for 8 to 14 minutes. If somebody's sneezing, achoo, and then that, 8 to 14 minutes, they're still in the air where that you can breathe it through. That's why you wear masks. Okay. The COVID-19 symptom. Let's see. That this is a common cold that you have sore throat, muscle aches, all those kind of. You got flu. So you got the full-blown flu. That pretty much you got cough, you got difficult, you got sore throat, you got congestion. So that is in between. You don't know what either you got a cold, you got a COVID. But the most thing that really can tell that you get the COVID, this is you lost sense of, lost the taste, lost the smell, nauseating and diarrhea. Before I closed my restaurant on, March, early mid-February in Petroma, we start seeing all sick people coming in to my restaurant because they know I sell medicinal food. So I know what kind of food that I sell for cold season though. I give them, soup that has late fat, like, tom kha, tom yum, whatever it is. And then we have people that come in, okay, Oh, I didn't feel good. I didn't taste anything, so I would like to have to taste it more, a little bit more stronger. I give them salad, like a shrimp salad. The shrimp salad, it have full blown of taste. You get sweet, sour, salty, sour, and they have aromatic from the mint and mint and other, coffee, those kind of thing. You should be able to smell something. But the lady complained she didn't smell anything. I said, oh, well, I smell heavily. Now try to taste it. Do you taste anything? And she said, oh, no, I don't taste anything. I said, are you sure about that? I'm the one who making it. And it was the full taste. The taste is really good. And she said, no, I don't taste anything. I don't smell anything. The food tastes like shit. I said, oh, well, something going wrong with your health. So you better see the doctor because this is not normal. Because I can taste it. If I call my helper to come, my server to come and taste it, the food is saying everything is supposed to be. But she complained about it. I said, yeah, I have to tell her, okay, you don't have to pay, but you need to go to the doctor, check it out. This is not normal. At that time, we don't know that's the COVID. So sometimes I have my worker coming in and say, oh, somebody throw up in the bathroom. I said, whoa, are they drunk? This is lunchtime. So, and they haven't drink anything. I don't know why throw up. Are they pregnant or just something else? And they got food poisoning. I said, it's impossible. They haven't eaten. They just got in. So that's what my workers say. I say, well, make sure that you clean everything. Don't let people in, spray everything. And then and then 2-3 hours later, we got more people coming to vomiting in the bathroom. I said, oh my God, that's something going on here. But I don't think it's from us. So we have to close the bathroom and to tell people, well, we cannot serve the food because we have to clean this thing up and make sure that nothing there. So then they say, can you do takeout? We can cook and take it out and then that's what they do. And then people have summarized, you can hear from miles that go like crazy. That's what these three things that it really, for me, it really defined it. Okay, these people have some COVID to deal with. So time to see the doctor if you have this kind of lot of taste and smell. That is the biggest thing for me. Because go see the doctor, you might have a COVID. So if you really have the COVID, that when you have trouble breathing, persistent pain, chest pain, confusion, inability to awake, get bullied like a faint. Because the COVID only go past to everywhere to your body, go to your system. So that when you have to call the ambulance and go doing your COVID treatment. And if you're lucky, you come out, you don't, you die. Just as it is COVID-19. So let's go to where is COVID-19 attack your system. Usually your immune system, that's the same thing. That's why immunity, that food that need to be nurtured to bear. If you have the immunity strong, more likely they can attack you. So you have all kind of brain, blood, lung, liver, stomach, intestine, everything that it just affect to your body that can damage, everything can damage if you get a COVID attack. So how to protect yourself? This is from CDC and Thai, Thai medical headquarters, the Department of Thai it is Thai Medicinal Health. So first thing you do, you eat hot food, especially the cold winter. Right now, hot food is the best. Try to eat everything hot. You eat cold sandwich, those kind of things that kind of either going to help you that much. Eat the hot food, you kill a lot of things to maintain your body temperature, to prevent the COVID. You can do that too. The middle spoon this is a thing that we, in Thai culture, we serve family food. So we will make the big pot and everybody have to dig into the pot. But we always have the middle spoon. You take whatever you want, use that spoon and put it in your plate and then put the spoon back. Don't eat with that spoon. That's what the middle spoon for. And you got to wash your hand. The way you wash your hand, it takes 20 seconds. Not just go in and rinse, that's it, wash your hand. With the soap, okay, that's it. You got to put first of all, you got to wet your hand, put the soap in there, you got to rub. Now you go up the top, up the right, up the left, go your finger top, everything in there. You go like this, you go to the top, you go to the bottom, By the time you're doing that, 20 minutes, by the time you finish, you rinse, 20 seconds. Not minute. You finish washing your hand. That's the proper hand washing. We do that because we culinary people. You work in restaurant, you have to do that. That's the requirement, the mandate. And then you have to wear the mask. Everybody wear masks. So we just mentioned already. Keep distance 6 feet apart. And exercise. This is another thing that a lot of cow potato, they don't want to exercise. Oh, they exercise like this. That's good. So, and then eating healthy food. That most of the Asian you see had good defense system, because they eat a lot of medicinal food. Especially the Thai eat a lot of medicinal food because most of the Thai food derived from barefoot doctor. It's all medicinal that you can eat. And today I will introduce to you several of these that you can eat to fight the cold. And another thing, the personal antiseptic. I always have my alcohol 70-75% in my car. A minute before I go out, I spray my hand, I rub in my hand, and go in to wherever they go. When they come back in, they do the same thing. Squeeze the alcohol and rub my hand and rub everywhere that I touch in the car. Then I have the personal one always in my pocket, the small little one. If I touch something in the store and I'm not comfortable with, so I will take that and wash my hand right away. And the extra, mask that I always have extra in the car, just in case I forgot or somebody didn't have it or you doesn't feel, you touch your nose without, have your glove in there and probably it's not comfortable, you just take away and replace it. And then have it COVID test. I do, right now I did about 3 weeks, each time, but it depends on how many people is. So usually 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but I hardly go out. I go out only to buy the ingredients. The rest of it, I don't go to the restaurant. I don't do this, I don't that because I'm more afraid. I'm afraid of COVID more than afraid of people. Because people can be nice, people can be nasty, but the COVID is always nasty. If you got it, you screw. So this is another thing that the people I don't see much of people can explain it about the indoor, especially HVAC system. Air conditioning is the worst because air conditioning is a closed circuit. So you have the return air. That's what the big problem. when you have the return air, whatever the COVID somebody sprayed inside there, sneezing out, and going to flow into the return air. And the return air and go pass through, you know, cooling oil, a cooling system, cooling coil. But you think the COVID will die? No, we don't. So they will suck the COVID out and spray it all that. That's why they don't want you to do the indoor, because that the system it keep on circulating to where the problem is. That's why you have to wear the mask when you go inside the building, especially the commercial. You see, the airline is the same thing. You got to wear it because that's what's the problem is. It's got to return air. That if you can contain, you know, the COVID, and then keep on spreading to you. Okay. The one May came, you know, on furnace have air filter, you know. Yeah, and then they say virus carrier, they can protect it like a premium, you know. FPR is a filter performance rating that is done by the Ashray, which is a mechanical engineer that they do HVAC, you know, site. So the test of, you know, they can test it is from 0.3 to 1 micron. Let's see, 0.3 to 1 micron, you know, that's not good enough for the COVID. You know, and the N95 can filter 0.3 micron, but still the doctor is not enough. That's for the doctor. But you know, the COVID-19, they go to 0.06 to 1.4. That's the site of the COVID-19. That you can have a lot of problems because from 0.3 to 0.06, that's way more problem waiting for you. Thai COVID succeeds. How did Thai COVID succeed? That is a lot to do with people, the government, it's a whole, as a whole, not just one people in particular. The system, the whole, the leadership, lockdown, everything. You have to do a lot of calculation. We will go through this a little bit to see what do you think. So Thailand become number one in best position because we experience with SARS. When SARS break out in Hong Kong, you know, a lot of business people fly from Hong Kong to Thailand. And Thailand say, well, you have the SARS, you coming in, you're going to bring the SARS here. So the first two flights, they didn't know what they have SARS, but then they have to cancel all the flights from Hong Kong, China, from South Korea, from Japan, from everywhere that possibility to have SARS. So we lost the business, but we saved the people. And we learned how to deal with SARS. The SARS spread, how to deal with it. We learned from Chinese, we learned from Singapore, we learned from all those. The Thai people has experience with it. That's why they can handle a lot of these virus epidemic. So then, you know, the Thailand has cool healthcare system because everywhere you go, we pay 30 baht. 30 baht is $1. You can do anything you want. You can go to any hospital, the public hospital. If you go to private hospital, you pay more, but you got the top of the line. You see the high tech, all the upscale, you know, medical, and the doctor, it come from everywhere in Thailand and from everywhere in the world. If you like, you go to the private, you know, like a private hospital, they hire, you know, Flang, they hire, you know, Indian, they hire everybody that's good. They want to live in Thailand. They pay probably twice as much of the Thai doctor for the doctor that come in. But they get the top of the top. So that's why they're very famous with the healthcare system. The medicinal tourists, that's what they do. And they are well organized, the training part, they're good at what they do. So then the universal preventative measure, that means everybody agreed to do whatever the government asked them to do, you know. and people aware of each other, people respect each other. Like the restaurant come out to the restaurant, they have to make the barrier. The white husband and wife sits in opposite, but you still can enjoy them. You can still see each other. But what during you eat the meal? So it's a compromise. It complement. Everybody should pay respect. Everybody follow the rule. You come out the car, they clean your hand, they do all the. Everybody not just, oh, I don't want to clean my hand. No, they don't do that. They said, okay, let's go ahead. Like now, like you see the people waiting in line, they have to keep distance, space, wear mask. Even monk and the people who give food to the monk, everybody respect each other. They all wear masks, wear shield. So that's how they can successful, control the disease. Because we do it as a whole, not just one individual, or not just somebody, oh, I don't want to do it. No, you have to do it. Because you're going to save yourself, you save everybody else too. That's the way of we thinking. We go as a whole. And the leadership, I think my Prime Minister Prayut right now, I think he did pretty good job of what he's supposed to do. He go doing this, doing that, go to the high up, and they go to the lowest. Like a normal people to make them understand, talk about, show them love, show them affection. And then we have the king that always work behind on the side, doesn't tell anything. Like they give, the booth to test everybody is paid by the King Foundation. And then they take the car, the testing van that they can go everywhere, every part of Thailand, and give the COVID test to everybody. So that's the support from the king and the support from the leader, and then they come up with the solution, and everybody follows the solution. And then it's very strict, especially at the airport. They spare you, they vacuum, they spare you, they sanitize you, literally everything they do. They make sure that they don't have the COVID. You bring the COVID into the country. So, and then at one point we have to do the lockdown because in Phuket we have a lot of Chinese tourists coming in, and a lot of them get COVID. They come from Wuhan. So they have to lock down, close the whole, the tourist area, and the economy went just like that, sunk in the chaos, and people afraid of get COVID, and then several of them get COVID, and then the town become empty. At this point, still right now, it's empty, no business, because no tourists coming in. The country is still locked down because for the Thai people, we don't have the COVID now. Thai people is more, free to travel anywhere, but they still wear masks and keep distance. But we don't have the tourists, from China, from everywhere else. This country is still closed. I hope they will open it up when the vaccine start to appear. So you see the beach now is closed, a lot of beach. And now you have a turtle coming in the late egg. That it go back 30, 40 years that you see those kind of things happening, but it's happening right now. When the country open again, I think that you will see the real beauty of Thailand. So, and then this is another thing, the big thing that Thai is very successful on this because the information, fact-based communication, because they have, talk every day, give the COVID report every day, they have in Thai and English, and then you can access information to the website at any time, tell you how many people get sick, how many people get die today, where they come from, what kind of what people, male, female, what age, they tell you everything. They're successful with that, and then now they have, because the Thai people have to go back to the country, then they come up with a new implementation that you have to take the test, you have to do 14 they quarantine. You got to do for the Thai people for free, but the foreigner, you coming in like a department and all. Everybody have to do 14-day quarantine. So some they get skipped off when the first beginning of implementation of the 14-day, quarantine. Some people get away with it, especially the department, but not now. Everybody have to do that. So we successful now. We are ranked number one, and then the WHO, the World Health Organization, just give us you are number one, and they use the pattern of how Thai people manage the COVID without vaccine and become successful. So our death rate is still 60 people that die. It's supposed to be, if we didn't catch that, we probably have word more than anybody else. But lucky enough, we find out that we have the solution. So because all Thai is compromised, when the implementation say, oh, you got to wash your hand, you got to wear your mask, or they teach the kids, they teach everybody have to wait in line, be patient, you run out of food, people give you free food, everybody help each other out. Not just okay, oh, you let you hang and die. So we don't do that in Thai culture, because usually when you have a lot, you will give away. And that to make matters. And you pay attention to each other. If somebody need help, they will stop and help you. That's what it's all about. But mostly the Thai people respect, is the major thing that people pay, do follow the line. They don't cut in front of the line, doing kind of weird thing. So pretty much respect that Thai people have a lot. So this is the COVID-19 contract. This is another successful program that they do because they can be able to track people. A lot of people, oh yeah, my right. You can follow me what I do, but it become politics. But in Thailand, this is what we ask for the compromise. Can you help us? So every shop in Thailand, you have to register with the system, that the government system. They give you a QR code. When the shop register, they give you QR code. And then the QR code, you have to post it inside your shop, and then you have to follow the guideline in your store, what you're supposed to do, hand sanitizer, the position of the distance, blah, blah, like we do in the US, the same thing. But the US doesn't have the barcode to scan in, scan out. So, and then you can check how is this shop doing. You can keep the implementation. You can tell, oh, this shop doesn't do this, do that. They allow you to keep the suggestion or keep, a lot more compliment. And then as the user, as the individual, as the citizen, you have to download the software, the software that we show you later, what is software is called, what it's all about. You use the application. They call Shallot application. That's the name in Thai, Shallot. So the application. Then you have to register all those, put your information in there, right? And then when you go for the service, everything you go in, when you go to the vendor, you have to scan in, and then you do whatever you're shopping, and then you scan out. This is how they keep track how long you be in that shop. If somebody had the COVID, so if you are in that time, that period, then they will identify to you, say, oh, you got the COVID, people be in that shop at that time, and you are one of them that need to be tested. It's just in case if you test, you find out that okay, you have a COVID, so they take you, and then you have the the medical treatment right away. So most of the time, if you don't, then you don't have to do anything. If you don't hear from them, then you're fine. If you hear from them, then boom, you have to go in to the any testing site to test it. That's our agreement. That every citizen have to do that, and that's how we keep track of. So it's very successful. But it doesn't say that okay, you violate your right. No, your right and other people right is the same. But you have right to know who's going to give you the COVID. If you go in there at certain point because you're not aware of it, but when like a shit happen, then you need to know that all is about the system, the contact, the contact tracing app. It's very, very useful. I don't know the other country implement or not. We take that from South Korea and then we develop to Thai. We add more thing in there. So this is the app. And then again, you got a lot of really wacko people that try to collect your information. You make sure that if you go to Thailand, they call Thai China. That was the information in English is .com, not .pro, not anything else. It's .com. That belongs to the Thai government. And then you're going to use it, scan in, scan out at any store where you go. Okay? Because they have the real one and the fake one. Just make sure that you understand that. So, and whoever go there, they should be able to understand that too. They have in English now. A lot of English literature is coming out for all the. Now I think they have more. They have in Chinese, they have in Italian and German, all these languages. Because a lot of Thai people, they go everywhere in the world. Because a lot of them study in French, in English, they all speak other language. System, the leadership, lockdown, everything, you have to do a lot of calculation. We will go through this a little bit to see what do you think. So now we're going to go into where the immunity, immune booster, immune booster, like vitamin, mineral, and tire spike, and to help fight the COVID. Okay, this is what we're going to do. That's handling COVID with the nutrition advantage, because if you take a lot of vitamin and mineral, that is boosting your immunity, and then you have antioxidant and have prevention. You got all the kind we talk about, the vitamin C, you got magnesium, selenium, potassium, zinc. All these things is going to help you at this point. That's what you're looking for to fight with the COVID. So let's see the mineral, mineral and vitamin function. Everybody know that, every chemical, really, the zinc, selenium, potassium, magnesium, it's all function when it did something for your body, like a fight the bacteria, antibiotics, all the things is written everywhere you Google it, you will see all these information. The CDC have good information. Then, in the food form, where you get these things, you get from meat, you get from shellfish, you get from seed, from those kind of things that you just dig a little bit deeper and see, that have zinc, that have these, that have that have vitamin B, from okay, from pork, from trout, from, mussels, all kind of things that you can eat and have beneficial of vitamin and mineral. And that will help you, fight against the disease. So let's talk about the boosting system. That regularly, what I use, I do a lot of shiitake, oyster mushroom, like linju. This is the most expensive. This is the most expensive mushroom in Asia. So that they have the best, the most medicinal. That can cure a lot of things. A lot of Chinese, you see that in a lot of Chinese medicine. Turmeric, the Indian, Thai, and all these things that we use. But if you can find fresh one, like in Asia still have fresh one, do the fresh one, cook with it. Like a cinnamon, the same thing, ginger, avocado, almonds, mint, any of it. If you integrate into your food, it will help your immune system. So antioxidant, something that fight against the COVID. This is mostly something bitter. It have the bitter medicinal that what you want to do, like rosemary, the like bitter gourd, like Chinese kale, broccoli, Vietnamese coriander, anything that green, good for the antioxidant, especially it had a bitter taste. Honey still good because it's the bitter taste. This this is really related to the antioxidant. So if you follow my series, if you go to thaiessence.com, it will be the series of aspect of Thai food. It will be a lot of sections of how to do Thai food, how to, all the ingredient, pepper. But it is for the cooking people that want to learn Thai, all aspect about Thai food and learn the cooking class with me. All my students, every class that I do, I give aspect of Thai food presentation to open up their mind, their eye, to get them really where, okay, awareness of what's happening. Like every taste have medicinal property, those kind of things. It's a lot of good information, but I don't see so far, I don't see anybody put it like the way I do. Okay, it really healthy, really good education if you go into it and go through it. It's about 9 presentation in that. So each one last about 30, 40 minutes, but every one of them have good education, has good knowledge, good, information that is lifetime that you can use. So, and you can do whatever you want, but if you eat Thai food, you hardly get sick. I've been here, well, 30 years now, 32 years. I never get sick once. The same in Thailand. I don't do, like a flu shot because of all the bad food I have, disease prevention, and I never get flu. Because when they first come, I tried, they put the flu shot on me. We went for the flu shot, and I sick for 2 weeks. And then they found out among my friends, we don't do, both Thai people don't do flu shot. The Cambodia allows in the dog because the body is already good. If you put the virus in your system, then it make you sick. And after that, we never have the flu shot. We never get sick. We never have a flu because of the food that we eat. It's totally helpful. So the thing they can do, infecting prevention, you got anything that's sour, like lime have enzyme, a lot like onions, green vegetable, herb, anything that has enzyme that have medicinal property, take it. Everything helps. Especially right now, like key lime, like citrus, orange, lime, coffee lime, all these things, it's the best. Just try to integrate with your food every meal so that it naturally, prevention from infecting. So it will help your body tune it up, always alert, something coming in and then they eat it up. So prevent it real good. And this is the dish that I want to introduce. This is the why Thai dish is so healthy and so powerful, especially this. It really, this is, if you can eat it every day, it's good, but every other day is good, but very easy to make, but it's time consuming because you have to chop and cut and everything fresh. You got a fresh shallot, the ginger, the chili, fresh lime, and then roast coconut. You got peanut, you got dry trim, and then there's the sauce. You have the tamarind, you have palm sugar, you have peanut, you have roast coconut, and you have some kalanga in it. So it's just medicinal within itself. And then when you eat with you eat with wild betel leaf. This is the plant, not the clamping. So you put everything in there all at one on the leaf, and then put the salt in there. Put everything in your mouth in one bite. So you could chew all the every. It's fun to eat, and then to drink beer with it. That is the best one. It's fun to eat because you get exposure to all the flavors, textures, spice, everything in there. So it makes this is the most healthiest for COVID-19. So let's talk about something that medicinal, like where the increase the bigger, that means there are more the property that within ingredient. So let's talk about this lamb, right? You have ascorbic acid. That's a lot of vitamin C. Ascorbic acid, the vitamin B5, the folate B9, or you still have some, choline, the vitamin E, vitamin K, and all that thing. That's a lot for one vitamin. Let's talk about mineral. They have copper, they have calcium, have iron, potassium, and manganese, magnesium. All these is all at once. When you have one bite, you have a bit of that. And if you have more bite, you get more of that. And then if you see, talking about shallot have good high on vitamin C too. But now you have manganese, copper, you got more potassium, you got zinc. So you got iron, you got selenium. So this is a lot of mineral in one shot of ingredient. So if you go to Chile has a lot of high vitamin C, but now you see the vitamin side, you got folate, you got nicotine, you got vitamin A, vitamin B, you got choline. This is so many of them. You go from B1 to B9, literally, and then you get vitamin K. And now you got the mineral, then you got more. You add more on it. You got copper, you got iron, you got phosphorus, you got magnesium. So that's a lot of things in one bite. You can eat chili, that it added up. Everything you added up. By the time the mouthful, you got 2 or 3 mouthful, you got really good vitamin and mineral in your system. So if now you add more coconut in there. Coconut have vitamin 9, vitamin B9, you got vitamin B2, and now you got more thing in there. You got copper, you got iron, you got calcium in it. So all kinds of things that accumulate on this is that's why it's healthy. Thai food is healthy. You got a peanut. Peanut, it give you crunchy taste, give you full, you got a buttery taste, all of that. So you got copper, you magnesium, potassium, zinc, selenium, and calcium. Then you have, the choline, and then tamine, folate. You got all these. You could keep on adding that. It's from different sort of food, but you got a lot of vitamin and mineral. So the ginger is very popular in Asia. The Chinese love it, Thai love it, and in California, you can find the young ginger that we use it a lot. If you go Thai supermarket, if you live in Santa Rosa, like my area in Northern California, you call Phnom Penh. These guys sell good stuff. They sell good ingredients. They have young ginger. They have all kinds of things. So they carry good stuff. And the vegetable come on Wednesday and Friday. So that we go back and forth from Santa Rosa to Oakland to San Francisco to get the ingredient. It's always fresh. The ginger have vitamin C, B6, vitamin A, calcium. So have everything in there, the mineral. And then dried shrimp. Shrimp, it has a lot of sodium, potassium, sodium, calcium, manganese. This is shrimp, dried shrimp. Dried shrimp is what they do, they put the salt, they cook the shrimp, the fresh shrimp with the salt, cook the whole. And then if someplace they cook with the seawater to make sure it's salty, and then after it's cooked, they sun dry for 2-3 days until the shell fall off. They rub all the shell, and then they go in baking and to kill the bacteria and then package it. So this is a real shrimp. It's because they lost so much water that they become small, but the mineral and the vitamin, everything still there. So that's why it's healthy. So, and wild bitter leaf, so that thing, the thing that they, if you go to Burma, you will see a lot of people chewing that. That's the leaf, similar to this, but that is climbing leaf. They are different, have slightly the same property, but this is a tree. So they go on the ground, you plant it on the ground, plant. So this one have, vitamin A, have calcium, everything have property, medicinal property. So that's why it's time people put in everything in have medicinal, they put it together and they add more, food, medicinal food that to help you preventing, healing, those type of things. And that one that they did. This is the second day that what we do a lot in the winter, especially when it's cold. So some you do tom yum, sometimes there are two different tastes. One is with cream or milk, and one is just the clear broth, But this is one the clear broth. So you have chili, you have mushroom, you have shrimp, you have all these things. It's coffee lime, onion, coriander, garlic. This is mostly medicinal. And then what you do when they cook in my class, I teach you how to do that. My cooking class, I'm setting up the Zoom right now, so we'll see if I can go that far to get the class going on Zoom, because for me, I can see the color, I can tell how good it is. I probably can smell in the air. Just kidding. No, I don't know where you are, but I can see the color of water, the color of the meat that you cook, and I can tell how far you went and how to collect it. So what to do, what not to do, very important. In my cookbook, you will see that every recipe, one page, one ingredients. You see the picture, you see the instruction, the ingredients. So because my background in engineering, we learned about all the structure. Instruction is for developing the flavor and texture, and then you balancing the taste or do all kind of things. Go to my website, thaiessence.com, thaiessence.com. You see Chef Man, you see all my information in there, how far I go, what I do. Right now, I'm going to try to do because the restaurant, if you can't do anything right now, so it's been closed. So we're going to do the cooking class, using Zoom cooking class, so I can talk to people, give them feedback by looking what they do, how they do it. Well, we do sample. Usually my class is this time I do sample to you, for you, look at it, you can see, explain everything to do, and then you cook at your plate, and then I go to zoom into your cooking individual at almost the final end to see. If you have a question, you can shout it out, lay your hand, I can go to your place, via the Zoom and tell you what to do, collection, those kind of things. So the class is not big. It's going to be, I would start with 24, the most, which is like normal. My class is 24 people 4 hours when I teach a class at JC Santa Rosa Junior College, when I teach my cooking class. So when I do at the private club, or the private group, so we set it up differently. We do things. You got depend how entertaining or not entertaining, or real education or family oriented. So most of the time I do it for family and people that working together, or I can food and wine pairing. I do all kinds of those things. So, and this is one of them. This is the spicy soup. So in my class, you will learn how to do that. And you have to know when you're cooking something, you should know what it should taste like. This is the key for you do Thai cooking class. I don't see anybody can do it yet to explain it to them. But a lot of Thai people know the sour, spicy, salty, but sequential of the taste, it has to be able to detect it, simultaneously affect. If you go to one of my presentations, I think cooking skill, or I don't remember now. So you will see what I'm talking about, the sequential of the taste. And that's why make it Thai food stand out. Thai food is, again, ranked #1 in the world. Everybody know. Everybody want to know how to cook them, but most of the time they can access the ingredient and they don't have the good instruction, how to do that. If somebody says, oh, you put it, put that, it's for me, it's meaningless. Everybody, oh, I look in the this one, 2 kilo, 1 kilo, no, that kind of thing. And it makes no sense. So, because everybody put in there and then, okay, what it tastes like, something went wrong in there, how you adjust the taste. You need a proper education. You need something that you have a fundamental with it. And after that, you can tweak after you learn the fundamental. Because it's very simple Thai cooking if you know how to do them properly. And I am the one capable to tell you and teach you how to do them. And you will not disappoint it. I have probably by now, I teach for 15 years now, I have probably good 300 or 400 students. The list is long when I try to do something, to do the email, it's long. Because I keep track of, all the people that come to my class, they understand. Most of the time they come 1 time, 2 times, because every class I change the ingredient. Because each ingredient is different, each dish is different, the cooking technique is different. So they learn something more. You can build up a lot more. And sometimes I do the fusions, Thai cooking. Like the last time I did, I went to Oaxaca, study, mole in Oaxaca in Mexico. So I studied with my master, sorry that I learned 7 mole from her. And then I just tweak it with her using more Thai ingredient in there, add sugar in there, balancing the taste, that kind of thing. And then from time to time I have, mole night with a Thai touch, which is I cook, red mole or coloradito, or I haven't done black mole because it's too complicated, too many things to do, and I have a lot of yellow mole, fruta mole, those kind of things that I learned that why the mole is good. They pretty much like a Thai, in Thai like a curry, different kind of curry. But the mole is different. They cook with chocolate, they cook with butter, you cook with all kinds of things, but it's Thai food. It's totally different. But when I do fusion, it's very good because the Thai food, it can bring it out, balancing the taste, and make mole to the next level. So when I have detail, we do it. So if somebody requests it, so we try to teach that, how to do that. So this is a spicy basil. Just holy basil itself, it has the best medicinal to fight, the COVID, because they have so many enzymes, so many things in there. You have to read to it. I can't explain that much. It's long. The list is medicinal property is the best. You have garlic, you have chili. So, and then you got, balancing the taste, with oyster sauce, fish sauce, and sugar. In my cooking, we use only brown sugar. We don't use white sugar. And in my lecture, I talk about the sugar, why, which kind of sugar to use, what kind of fish sauce, which one go with the sugar, salty and sweet, and sweet and salty, and and sour. How you balancing the thing, which thing, the fundamental, how they go with it, and then if you learn that, then you make less mistake. That for me, I can see, when I create something, I say, oh, I have this, I have that, then I can create something that's more meaningful and delicious. So, country spicy soup is something that you don't want really buttery at all, and you want really, really spicy and really medicinal, and then it doesn't take long to cook, but it really tastes good. You have 3 different kinds of chili in it. That's why they country spicy, and they cook country style. So which is sometimes they cook with, some cheap piece cut meat, but they cook until it's falling apart, and then they make soup, because it blew you away. It's phenomenal. It's something else that if you know Thai food, you be able to try this. The good one you will fall in love with. And then this is good for COVID, because you got the spice, you got herb, you got, soup, keep your body warm. Eat the best. So for spicy shrimp salad, that when they're talking about that lady, they come in, this is the dish that I cook. She's supposed to smell it, taste it, to all kind of thing that in there. But she didn't taste, didn't smell. That's sad. And she got a COVID. And she's so mad at me that because I tell her that you better see the doctor. You don't have to pay the bill, but you have to see the doctor. And when she went out, and then 2 hours later, you can see it on the review on I forget the name now. Not Google, the other one. They give me one star and complain the food is shitty, nothing good, blah blah blah, and that what you get when that the Yelp, that the Yelp, you went into the Yelp, you see, oh yeah, that what the lady that I told her that she didn't taste anything. You got to see the doctor. Do me a favor. That I tell her to go to the doctor. That's what she get mad. She complained about it, and then she said, "Oh, my food is not good." So anyway, if you taste my food, I think this is one of the best that come out. That's what people say. You can go to you still probably still have Yelp and Google on Thai Essence. You will see the ThaiEssence.com is me. They have another Thai Essence, but there is somewhere back east. But I don't know what they do, but this is what I do. I do medicinal food, classical and traditional Thai cooking with healthy, delicious Bangkok food. That's what I do. So you can read all that, or if you want to read more, you go to my website. You see all the student, give me a lot of feedback. You can see a lot of pictures. How happy my student is. So far, I haven't anybody cry yet in my cooking class. So we see how it goes. So the vegetable dip. This is another thing that why Thai food people healthy. They always eat vegetable. Make the dip and eat raw vegetable, fresh. We don't cook vegetable like white people. They cook vegetable until it's dead. But the Thai people, they eat them fresh. More than Southeast Asia, they eat vegetable fresh more the time. If they do stir fry, it have to be fast and quick. When the color change, boom, finish. Turn off the heat, balance instead, you're done. So those kind of things. So I want to recap the knowledge. If you haven't gone to my plate yet, if you do to my website yet, you do. I want to recap your knowledge here. The Thai food have regional food that we talk about those. And then regional food, that means you've got the north, the south, the east, the west, northeastern, and the central. Then the Bangkok. This is a lot of layer in there when you talk about Thai food. But Thai food, not just pad Thai, is a lot more than that. A whole lot more than that. So just be careful with that. The Thai food have regional food. So you will see, if you go to my lecture, you will see, oh, which part of Thailand the most spicy? So the north, the south, or the northeastern, those kind of things. Those things we answer you. So the food is medicinal, Thai food, which is because the barefoot doctor, the one who created, collected, and then a lot of Thai people, they all in the health. Everything it have no value, they will not eat. But unless they come to the U.S., they say, oh, I eat McDonald's, but when they go back to Thailand, screw that. We don't need it. We see it, we don't like it, so we don't eat it. So they will eat it to preventing, healing, and nurturing. If they get something, oh, I got a cold, that's what I'm supposed to do. Eat some soup, add more lime in there, sour taste, get a lot more spice. You can intensity of, the flavor and the texture, but the medicinal is already there. So every taste has its own beneficial. It's sweet, sour, salty, but I explained it on one of those presentations on aspect of Thai food, on medicinal part. So step and sequential, how to dictate it, the flavor and texture. That means, if you're going to cook vegetable, if the vegetable turn black, that means you overcook. If vegetable turn green, bright green, that authenticity, that it's just like. So if you to do only the flavor and the texture, so you still have to learn how to balancing the taste, which one go first, which one go last when you cook like a vegetable, soft vegetable, hard vegetable. For example, kale. Kale, you do hard vegetable, soft vegetable. You do soft vegetable last. You put hard vegetable first. You put meat, what the meat with garlic, Thai food is always something that you have to learn step differently. When you know that, you master that, everything come out good because you got light on it. You put a light on the nail, then every time you do, you can tweak, you can do whatever you want. The technique to make it, the texture right, those kind of things that it needs to be learned. So variation of the Thai dish is compromise composition of Thai meal. This is a lot of people what are you talking about? Because you go to Thailand, if you see somebody sit on the table with 2 or 3 people, not somebody, a whole group of people, you don't see one dish like the American now. You got one dish, you got this, that, you got. No, they will have so many dishes in the chair, and they know composition of the Thai meal, which one go with. You have something spicy, you want something buttery to balance it out. The compromise, opposite and contrast. Thai people know all that, but I don't know if not too many people know how to explain that. So you have to go to my lecture on those types. Every one of them, you learn every one of them. You learn the whole thing, the fundamental. So I give it for free education just for my marriage. So if I die, I cannot take it with me. So, and this is what I can contribute to the world. Okay, this is what I see, how I see the way I do it, and I'm pretty successful what I do. So I want people to enjoy that. And again, when you come to this country, you have a lot of wine, especially the California wine. In my restaurant, I serve only California wine. And now we don't serve anything because we don't have it now. So again, medium dry to sweet. The red wine, the white wine. We have the wine. I have a wine section on that. And that lecture too. So watch for it. That if you learn it, you will probably educate you, open up your mind, open up your eyes a little bit more. And you probably want to stick with Thai food the rest of your life, which is, hey, the best thing to do for you. So Thai food has class and great expectation. A lot of people, oh, Thai food, yeah, take like all soy sauce. No, that's Chinese food. Yeah, all soy sauce. Thai food have flavor, have texture, have balance. Everything go. It always look good, smell good, taste good, have the right texture, and contain the lingering taste. In my lecture, you see what the lingering taste like. You have when you taste something, you use your tongue, then you're going to use your throat. So everything going in there, it make it Thai food is stand out because of that. So go into the lecture, you will have fun on it. So pretty much soon you have we announce and sign up. You can sign up for the class. You can be anywhere in the world. I don't care, but you have to be able to get into Zoom, and then I be able to see you, and you pay some kind of fee to class. It's not going to be too expensive because you have to buy your own ingredient, and you're going to tell you how to prep them, and then we show them again in class and how we prep, and then how we think we're going to do. And then when I do the demo, you see it, I taste it for you, I explain it to you, you cook it, I will see it, and how you do them, and then when you taste it, you can explain it to me, which one comfortable. I have to rely on your palate. So, and if you honestly explain it to me, I will be honestly collect it for you. How to collecting the taste, balancing the taste. If you always shut the runway, I can see by the color, I can see by the texture of the ingredients. I pretty much tell what went wrong in your system. So try me out. I'm pretty good at what I do, and if you don't believe it, you have to try it. So it is really good. It's helpful. If not good, I'm not doing it. So upcoming is a hand-on cooking class. We assume that what you're going to do, and if the thaiessence.com, you go under cooking, you add all information about it, and you will see all those tabs about Thai cooking, and you see another tab is traveling. I do traveling a lot of places. I think probably I have about 28 countries now. I go for the food and go for the cooking, and I do long trip like a 2-month, 3-month trip, and I load the story, I take a picture. And you might have fun with and like the story the way I tell. So if the traveling page, that's another one that you should probably enjoy it, because like I go to Argentina, so I go like Patagonia, so I go from I flew to Chile. I flew to Argentina and go up to Argentina to Chile and go down Chile to the south, take the plane across to Punta Arena and come back to, on the Argentina side and start go up to the sea, the ice age, keep on going, zigzag, see the penguin, or kind of thing, and come back to the town. It takes about good 2 months, because everywhere I go, I would try to eat their food, study about the plant a little bit, agriculture, those kind of things, just whatever come in my face. So I equate that with the Thai, and based on my experience, I wrote a story about it. So if you appreciate that, just let me know. You can comment on those, any of those things, so I will know. So I still have 2-3 more stories I haven't write, but I have a lot of pictures, because like I go to Nepal, I go to Mexico, to the last trip is about Mexico to do the ruin. So on the Maya ruin from Mexico to Guatemala to Belize and back. So it's a lot of information, but I haven't write it story because I didn't run out of time. So anyway, if you like any of these, so just follow me at thaiessence.com. So this is something about me a little bit, but you miss it, just go ahead and enjoy it. And thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you. Put any comment, requirement, anything on this video. So then I will know what the guy looking for. If I can help, I will. If I cannot help, you on your own. That's pretty much what I do. Okay? Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. ขอบคุณครับ Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully, this video enticed you. If it did, please share. You can follow us at thaiessence.com. THAIESSENCE.com. Or on the Facebook at Kunpan, KHUNPHANT. At Kunpan on the Facebook. And the YouTube, Classical Thai Cooking by Chef Pan. See you on the next video. Have a pleasant day. Until then, ขอบคุณครับ